Hello, everyone. Have you ever been in that desperate moment you're sleeping soundly in the middle of the night, and all of a sudden your calf muscle feels like someone grabbed it from the inside and twisted it into a knot? A chunk of muscle locks up tight. That electric, shocking pain instantly jolts you awake from your dream. You can't even move. You just lie there in a cold sweat, forcing yourself to endure it until it passes. Many of my older patients are so afraid of getting a cramp that they won't even stretch their legs out at night. Some of them end up sitting on the edge of their bed just waiting until morning over and over again. They often have to sit up by their bedside suffering through the night until dawn. Most people think it's just aging. I must be low on calcium. I just have to live with it. But what if I told you that right there on your own calf? There is a hidden emergency shut-off switch for this kind of pain. If you find the right spot and press down in less than 3 seconds, it's like pulling the plug on a lamp. That tearing, screaming pain just disappears. Do you want to learn how this is not some old folk remedy from the internet? This is a medical method that I have personally tested on myself and that has helped countless patients of mine finally end the nightmare of leg cramps. Here's the truth: nighttime leg cramps are not simply about aging or a calcium deficiency. They are a high-level warning signal from your body that your internal circulation and your electrolyte balance are about to completely crash. If you keep ignoring it, you are not only ruining your sleep, you could be putting extra strain on your heart and blood vessels over time. In this video, I am not only going to teach you this life-saving 3-second rescue technique accurately, I am also going to share my complete step-by-step plan to stop leg cramps for good. I am holding nothing back. Just follow this, and I promise you will be sleeping comfortably all the way through the night, every single night, feeling great. My own story. How I realized it was more than just aging. I used to think leg cramps were just a normal part of getting older, a natural decline in body function. Then, about 2 years ago in the fall, I woke up in the middle of the night with my left calf as hard and stiff as a rock. A lightning bolt of pain hit me, and I was instantly awake from my sleep. At first, it only happened once every week or two. I didn't think much of it, but gradually the frequency got higher and higher, from twice a week to eventually, whenever the weather turned cold, I was getting woken up by a cramp almost every single night, and the location spread too. It started in my calf, but then it moved to my toes. Sometimes even the back of my thigh would cramp up. The worst part, it completely stole my ability to get a good, restful sleep because I was afraid of the cramps. I would sleep with my legs curled up all night long. There were even several times when I was so exhausted and so scared of the pain that I would just get out of bed, go sit in a chair and doze off there until morning. My wife got really worried. She kept pushing me to go to the hospital for a full checkup. But I thought to myself, I'm a doctor. What could I possibly not know about my own body? So I just kept toughing it out until one night I got a cramp that was more intense than anything I had ever felt before. My calf muscle completely twisted out of shape. My toes were going numb in waves because of the lack of blood flow. I was drenched in a cold sweat from the pain. And in that moment, for the first time, I felt real fear. I thought this might really be more than just simple aging. The next day, I scheduled myself for a full blood workup. The results showed that my magnesium and potassium levels, two key electrolytes, were both below the normal range. Then I did a vascular ultrasound of my legs, and that confirmed it. My blood flow speed had slowed by almost 20% compared to just a few years earlier. That was my real wake-up call. I finally understood that the nighttime leg cramps we middle-aged and older adults get are not an isolated muscle problem. They are an extremely important warning signal that your body's internal balance is broken. I know many of you watching this have lost sleep over this same problem, and if that's you, then the story I'm about to share will help you tremendously. The surprising fix thanks to a 90-year-old neighbor. Honestly, I owe it to one of my patients for helping me completely get rid of my leg cramps. It happened by a very lucky chance. My neighbor, Mr. Chen, is almost 90 years old and a retired calligraphy teacher. One day he saw me walking a little bit strangely. My right leg was moving a bit stiffly. He asked me with concern, "Are your legs feeling uncomfortable at night? Are you sleeping okay?" I was a little surprised that he noticed, but I told him honestly about my leg cramp problem. Mr. Chen laughed and said, "I used to be just like you. The pain was really bad." Then my Qigong teacher taught me about a pressure point called Chengshan Bear Mountain. It's right there on the back of your calf. He said when you get a cramp, just treat it like there's nothing to lose. Press down hard on that spot for 3 seconds. It works immediately. I have to be honest, I was half skeptical. A pressure point, could something like that really have real medical backing? But that very night, when that familiar cramp started to hit again, I remembered what he said. I pointed my toe, found the little dip that appears right under the bulge of my calf muscle, and pressed my thumb into it as hard as I could, and it was like a miracle. In less than 3 seconds, that tearing, screaming pain just faded away into nothing. At first, I thought it was just a coincidence. But then every single time I got a cramp after that, I used this method, and every single time it worked. This sparked my curiosity as a researcher. I immediately went and looked up the medical literature. I found that in traditional Chinese medicine, the Chengshan point is indeed a core pressure point for treating leg circulation problems and muscle spasms. And from a modern medical perspective, that exact location is a key junction where the nerves and blood vessels of your calf muscle, the gastrocnemius, all come together and branch out. Stimulating that spot effectively improves local blood flow and rapidly releases that extreme muscle tightness. Through this experience, I deeply understood something important. Whether it comes from Eastern wisdom or Western science, any method that helps the human body heal is a valuable tool. They are all different paths to the same destination. They are all precious resources for our health. So now I actively teach this simple, effective method to every single one of my patients. Please subscribe. If this video helps you, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and give it a like. That's how we get this useful information to more older adults who really need it. Part 1, what really causes leg cramps? First, we have to deeply understand the real cause. Many people think it's just muscle aging, but in reality, several complex factors work together behind the scenes. The biggest reason is electrolyte imbalance. Our muscles need to contract and relax properly. It's like a precise chemical reaction. It requires multiple electrolytes: sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium, to stay in the right balance. But as we get older, our kidney function naturally declines. Plus, some older adults take medications for chronic conditions, or their eating habits change. This delicate balance can easily get broken. Second is poor circulation. Generally speaking, after age 70, the elasticity of your blood vessels isn't what it used to be. Your blood flow volume decreases. This is especially true in your legs, which are farthest from your heart. They're the end of the line for your circulation. If blood doesn't flow smoothly, your muscles don't get enough oxygen and nutrients. In that deprived state, if your legs get even a little bit cold or you lie in a bad position, a muscle spasm is very likely to happen. Third is not enough water. Dehydration. Many older adults either are afraid of waking up to use the bathroom at night, or they just don't feel very thirsty. That leads to seriously low daily water intake. When your body is low on water, your blood gets thicker and stickier, like thick pancake syrup. It doesn't flow as well. At the same time, your muscle tissue itself gets stiff from lack of water. That makes cramps even more likely. A real patient example, Mr. Wong, age 65. I treated a patient, Mr. Wong, age 65, who was a very typical case. Every morning at around 3 a.m., like clockwork, he would wake up in pain from a calf cramp. It was as regular as an alarm clock. When I sat down and really talked to him, I found out that Mr. Wang was taking blood pressure medication that contained a diuretic, a water pill that causes your body to lose potassium. And on top of that, he was afraid of waking up to use the bathroom, so he basically stopped drinking water after 4 p.m. His blood test results were exactly what I expected. His potassium and magnesium levels were both low, and the test also showed he was mildly dehydrated. Here's what I recommended. First, under his family physician's guidance, we adjusted his medication. Second, I told him to eat more potassium-rich and magnesium-rich foods consistently, things like bananas, spinach, dark leafy greens, nuts, and tofu. Third, I told him he had to drink about 50 ounces, 1,500 milliliters of water a day, spaced out in small amounts throughout the day, not all at once, and to take it slowly. Finally, I suggested he do a few minutes of gentle leg stretches 1 hour before bed. 3 weeks later, Mr. Wang came back to see me, and he was thrilled. He told me he had gone an entire week without a single leg cramp. He couldn't even remember the last time he had slept all the way through the night. He said he didn't even remember when that had ever happened, so that seemingly simple symptom, leg cramps, is actually an important signal from your body that your overall balance is off. Please don't just think I'll tough it out. Finding the real root cause and fixing it is the most important thing. Part 2, the 3-second Chengshan pressure point method, tested and proven. Next, I'm going to teach you in detail the 3-second Chengshan pressure point method that I personally tested and proved to be effective. This method is almost laughably simple, but its results are truly amazing. It's simple to the point of being hard to believe, yet the effect is so good it's astonishing. Where is the Chengshan point? The Chengshan point is located on the back of your calf. To be more precise, it's at the junction where your two calf muscles, the gastrocnemius and the soleus, come together. All you have to do is gently point your toe or lift your heel. See that bulge in your calf muscle? Right underneath that bulge, there's a little dip or hollow. That's the Chengshan point. From a traditional Chinese medicine perspective, this point is a major pressure point on the bladder meridian. It's responsible for the energy and blood circulation of your entire leg. From a modern anatomy perspective, that exact spot is where the nerves of your calf muscles, the medial and lateral gastrocnemius nerves and the posterior tibial nerve, run through. It's also where important blood vessels like the small saphenous vein come together. So stimulating this spot not only activates nerve signals, it also rapidly improves your local blood flow. How to press the point? You can try this right now with me. Let me show you. You can do this while sitting or lying down. You can follow along with me right now. First, correctly find the Chengshan point. Lift your heel slightly. That creates a little hollow right under your calf muscle bulge. That's the spot. Take your thumb and find that point. Then start with gentle pressure and slowly press harder and harder. At first, you might feel some soreness or tenderness. That's normal, but don't use brute force. Here's the key coordinate with your breathing. As you slowly breathe out, press firmly toward the bone for 3 seconds. Then, as you slowly breathe in, slowly release the pressure. Repeat this 3 to 5 times, then switch to your other leg and do the same, alternate back and forth. A real patient example, Mrs. Lee, age 70. I treated a patient, Mrs. Lee, who was 70 years old because of her nighttime leg cramps. She was losing at least 2 hours of sleep every single night. During the day, she had no energy, and it was really affecting her daily life. When I first showed her this pressure point method, she was also half skeptical. A method this simple, can it really work? But I told her to just try it that very night, no matter what. 1 week later, Mrs. Lee came back for a follow-up appointment, and her expression was completely different. She said excitedly, "It's truly amazing. The other night when I felt a cramp starting, I pressed that spot and the pain went away immediately. Now I'm not afraid of the cramps anymore. I can finally sleep peacefully." But here's what was even more surprising. 3 weeks later, Mrs. Lee told me that recently the cramps themselves had almost stopped happening because she had gotten into the habit of pressing the Chengshan point every single night before bed. And she said it seemed to have a preventive effect too. And that's actually true. Regularly stimulating the Chengshan point consistently improves the blood circulation in that area, and it significantly lowers the chance that your muscles will go into spasm. So here's my advice. Don't just use this method when you get a cramp. Treat it like a daily health habit. Do it once or twice a day. Part 3, the complete daily plan to stop leg cramps for good. No matter how good your first aid rescue method is, our ultimate goal is to stop the cramps from happening in the first place. That's our final goal. First, hydration. I cannot stress this enough. No matter how many times I say it, it's not enough. You need to drink between 50 and 65 ounces, 1,500 to 2,000 milliliters of water a day. Do not wait until you feel thirsty to drink, and definitely don't chug a huge amount all at once. You need to drink small, frequent sips throughout the day. Especially important, drink 1 small glass of warm water 1 to 2 hours before bed. That is incredibly helpful for preventing nighttime cramps. Second, eat smart. Be intentional about consistently eating potassium-rich foods like bananas, spinach, avocado, and potatoes. Also eat magnesium-rich foods like nuts, tofu, brown rice, and dark leafy greens. On the other hand, salty foods or processed foods, chips, frozen dinners, fast food have way too much sodium. That throws off your electrolyte balance really easily, so it's best to cut back on those. Third, fix your sleep environment. Blankets that are too heavy or too thick can put pressure on your legs that blocks good circulation. Also, many people sleep with their toes pointing downward. If you hold that position for hours, your calf muscle stays in a shortened, contracted state. That makes a cramp very likely. Here's my personal recommendation. Put a thin pillow or a small cushion under your ankles, just high enough to be comfortable. This lifts your legs just a little bit. It helps blood flow back to your heart, and it keeps your ankles in a relaxed, comfortable position. Fourth, gentle stretching. Spend about 5 minutes before bed doing some gentle calf stretches. This is fantastic for relaxing your muscles and preventing cramps. Here are a few examples. Put your hands on a wall. Step one foot back into a gentle lunge. Keeping your back heel on the floor, you'll feel a stretch along your back calf and your Achilles tendon. Sit on your bed. Take a towel or a belt and loop it around the ball of your foot. Gently pull your toes toward your body. Here's one that works really well. Lie on your back, scoot your hips close to a wall, and rest both legs straight up against the wall, so they're at a 90-degree angle. Then slowly circle your ankles up, down, left. Right? For about 3 minutes, you will feel your whole calf circulation improve dramatically. Final summary, your action plan for tonight. My friends, in this video, I have shared with you all the secrets about leg cramps so that you can sleep well tonight. Let's review the key points together. You can follow along with this. First, recognize the three main causes of leg cramps. Nighttime leg cramps are not just about aging or calcium deficiency, they are a warning light from your body. One, electrolyte imbalance. As you age or take certain medications like blood pressure diuretics, your potassium and magnesium levels drop, your muscles lose that contraction relaxation balance. Two, poor circulation, your blood vessels age, your legs get cold, your calves at the very end of your circulation become starved for oxygen and blood, and they spasm easily. Three, dehydration, you're afraid of nighttime bathroom trips, so you don't drink enough water. Your blood gets thick like syrup, your muscles get dry and stiff. A cramp is just waiting to happen. Second, memorize the life-saving 3-second Chengshan pressure point method. When a nighttime leg cramp hits you, do not just suffer through it. Use this method to instantly turn off the pain. Find the spot, gently point your toe or lift your heel. The little dip right under the bulge of your calf muscle, that's your built-in pain shutoff switch. The Chengshan point, the technique, use your thumb to press firmly toward the bone while you slowly breathe out, hold for 3 seconds, then slowly release as you breathe in. Repeat 3 to 5 times on each leg. The pain will stop almost immediately. Prevention. Press this point every day to significantly lower your chances of getting a cramp at all. Third, the complete daily plan to stop cramps for good. If you want to truly end this problem, build these 4 things into your daily life. 1. Hydrate smartly. Drink 50 ounces, 1,500 milliliters of water a day. Don't wait to feel thirsty, and definitely drink a small glass of warm water 1 to 2 hours before bed. You cannot wait until you're thirsty to drink, and do not chug water all at once. 2. Eat the right foods. Eat potassium-rich foods, bananas, spinach, avocado, and magnesium-rich foods, nuts, tofu, brown rice. Cut back on salty processed foods. 3. Fix your sleep setup. Don't use a heavy blanket that crushes your legs. Put a thin pillow under your ankles to lift your legs slightly. This keeps your calf from staying in a shortened, cramped position all night. 4. Stretch before bed. Spend 5 minutes stretching. Do a wall lunge. Use a towel to pull your toes towards you, or lie on your back with your legs up against the wall and circle your ankles for 3 minutes. This will completely open up the blood flow in your calves. My final words to you, my friends, when it comes to body discomfort, please don't use getting older as an excuse to just suffer in silence. Health is not built in a day, and change doesn't require you to do everything at once. Tonight, even if you just drink one small glass of warm water before bed, or you just put a thin pillow under your ankles, that is an amazing start. That is an extremely great beginning. Just stick with one small change every day. A month from now, you will have completely said goodbye to that desperate middle of the night pain. You will rediscover the joy of sleeping all the way until morning. If you found this information helpful, please give this video a like, subscribe to this channel, and share it with your friends and family who are also suffering from leg cramps. The more people see this, the fewer people will have to suffer. I wish you all deep, restful sleep and a long, healthy life. I'll see you in the next video. Disclaimer, this video is for educational purposes only. Always consult your own doctor before making changes to your health routine. If you are dealing with any health concerns, please schedule a visit with your primary care doctor. I am here to help you understand the science, not to replace professional medical advice.